Good morning. Welcome to day 94, Tuesday, July 9th, 2024. We got camp broken down. We're ready to go. It's about 6 in the morning. Heard a few dead branches fall overnight, but we're in a pretty good live tree spot here, so we were fine. There was one curious deer that came by at dusk and didn't really hang around. And then this morning at around, I slept in almost 5, which was amazing. He came by soon after and was being a little more curious, but scooted, because I had some of my gear out of the tent as I was like breaking down camp, but scooted him away, and he came back once or twice and then left for good. So it did not really cool down last night. Still pretty warm. That's okay, because it's a town day. Woo! Although it's going to be a pretty full day of hiking, about 14 miles to get to the road. I'm going to try and get cell service, see if I can get that bus to stop. It stops around 1:30 or 1:45, which if I do my normal 2 miles an hour, that'll put me at the bus stop pretty close to when it's going to be there. So that might work out. If I can get a cell signal and call them and ask them to stop there. There's no cell service here, but I think I might be able to get some. We're going to be climbing up to like 7,200 feet. So there are reports of, not Verizon particularly, but usually if there's T-Mobile or AT&T, a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times, all the cell towers will work. So had the one Thru-Hiker come back down for water. The guy who's doing like 35 miles a day. And then a male and a female came down closer to 8 just to get water. I'm assuming it's that couple, but not 100% sure. They may not have stopped here for water. There's other places, but so yeah, that's the update. We got to do a little climb back up to the PCT. There is also a huge milestone today we're going to hit. This year's PCT, I think, is 2,650 miles. We are going to go past the halfway point today. Amazing. There is like a halfway point marker, but because the mileage changes a little bit every year, that won't be the actual halfway point for us. But we'll just call it 1325. So if and when I get there, halfway through, continuous miles, that's pretty amazing. The mosquitoes were fine last night. They were a little annoying this morning, so I'm going to finish this coffee and get moving. Plus, we got a bus to catch, potentially. Getting a nice view of Mount Lassen. Okay, not Mount Lassen, Lassen Peak. Same thing. All right, we just passed the trail junction for Butt Mountain. A lot of humorous comments on Far Out about that. But anyway, also comments about having cell service. So I had 3 bars of Verizon LTE. I was able to call the bus company, request that they stop at the trailhead. So they'll be there around 1:30 to pick me up. So based on, I think I got about 10 miles. So I won't be wasting a lot of time at the road, which is nice, assuming the message gets through and the bus shows up. So that's all good news. We're about 1.5 miles from the PCT halfway marker, although our actual halfway for this year is going to be probably about 0.7 miles north of that marker. So we'll celebrate twice. We'll celebrate at the marker, and then we'll celebrate when we actually get to 1325. That's what we'll call halfway. So there was one couple camped at those spots where I went down to get water. I'm pretty sure that's the couple I saw cowboy camping yesterday. Just had one guy pass me. I'm assuming he's a thru-hiker. I didn't recognize him. Yeah, so we've been mostly in the shade, not too exposed. It's been nice. I haven't had to put on my hoodie yet. That's the morning update.
Congratulations. Flags.
All right, we made it to the halfway point, but we're not really at the halfway point. We got about another 0.7 or 8 for this year's PCT. But yeah, here's the marker. All right, so thru-hiker from Australia was there. Even offered me a halfway beer, but I'm good for right now. And then other guys showed up soon after. So everyone's celebrating halfway through the PCT. Got a little over 8 miles to get to the road, Route 36 or Highway 36, whatever it is. Based on the time right now, and I think we're going to be going mostly downhill. Probably be there around 12:30, which is going to be like an hour and a half before the bus shows up. So depending on when we get there, we may try our luck at hitching just for the heck of it, knowing that we have the bus as a backup. We'll see. Starting to get a little more exposed. We're losing the shade. Gonna have to put on some sunscreen soon. Get the hoodie going. All the good stuff to keep the sun away. That is the update. Going through a little tricky section here with a little bit of blowdown action. So yeah, we'll check in a bit. All right, so I'd say we're somewhere around the actual halfway point for this year's trail mileage, 2650. We're at 1325.2. So close enough. Congratulations. Let's celebrate with some electrolytes. Have to see how far our next water source is. Half mile to go to Soldier Creek for some electrolytes. Oh baby. I think halfway through the PCT, the thing that has surprised me most is how much I'm craving electrolytes, whether it be Tailwind or Gatorade or Propel. And I think there's going to be some stops coming up, especially in Washington State, where I may not necessarily have a town or a grocery store. I'll just be getting resupply. So I think I'm going to hop on Amazon and just order a ton of Gatorade. Maybe I can even get like a bulk thing instead of the individual packets. I'm just going to have Sarah send me tons of it in addition to the Tailwind. Yeah, that's probably what I did not expect. I did not expect how much electrolytes I would be using and actually like craving. Like right now my body is craving. I have plenty of water, but I'm just craving those electrolytes right now. That's what I need. So that's interesting. I realize I haven't really had an aches and pains report for a long time. I mean, that's a good thing, right? Because I really don't have any aches and pains. Like my left little toe, for whatever reason, is starting to rub a bit. It's getting like a little raw. So I think that's just a matter of probably needing to cut my nails again And I could have done it last night in the tent, but I knew I was going to be in town today. So I'll just take care of that today, later tonight or tomorrow. Other than that, been super fortunate. Knees, ankles, shoulders, ribs are 100%. That's been amazing. Yeah, everything feels good. I think pushing over 20 miles is where I'd be more likely to maybe start getting some overuse, where some of the youngins can go further. I think 20 is probably good. That's when my body starts telling me it's time to call it a night. And so far, I mean, I think the past 2 weeks, 10 to 12 of those days have been 20 plus mile days. So I know I can do it. Oh, look at this. Tree number 36. Hello, 36. Yeah, so that's the update. Looking forward to town for sure. Starting to get a little bit of town fever, and also realizing most of this is downhill. And don't go too fast, Brian, because that's where you're going to twist an ankle. We don't want that. So we'll see you at the water source. Yep, still heading towards the water. I guess something else I've been thinking about, something that I think, like, especially for the first month or so in the desert, when you're not doing things the way everybody else does it, or most people are doing it, no one necessarily says anything. Sometimes they do, like, wow, how big is your pack? How much does your pack weigh? That kind of stuff. But there's like an unspoken peer pressure in the group hive. Everyone drinks their water out of their smart water bottles with the Sawyer squeeze filters attached. Not me. I like the hydration bladder. I like having that puppy full. Oh, hold on. There's definitely, everyone is using the Durst Intense. Everyone has the Hyperlight backpacks. Everyone is shaving base weight. And if that's what works for you and gets you through the hike, awesome. People are cold soaking, they don't bring a stove, you know, all that stuff. I'm like totally Mr. Opposite of most people out here through hiking. And there definitely is like you feel that pressure to conform. Like, what are you doing? It's so stupid the way you're doing it. Well, stick to your guns. I'm having an awesome through hike. And maybe I'm carrying a little more weight than everybody else. And maybe I have a few more supplies than everybody else. But I'm hanging in there with the youngins, you know. If you told me that I'd be doing 20-mile days consistently after Yosemite, I'd be super happy with that. So I did have a lot of back and forth, especially before I started the hike, about a lot of my gear, about changing things, about doing what the majority of people do. But I've been backpacking a long time, and this system works for me. And I finally got to the point where I said to myself, why in the world are you going to change what works for you? And I'm glad I didn't. So yeah, if you're thinking about doing one of these down the road, just get out there, do some backpacking if you haven't already, and just figure out what works for you. Maybe the ultralight system does work for you, but maybe a more old school traditional system is more your jam. Just know that there are a few of us out here rocking that style, and it's a blast. All right, awesome. We have made it to the creek. We're going to do a little batch of electrolytes here and then head for the road. So while I was getting water at Soldier Creek, the other thru hiker from Australia, I met at the halfway point, who offered me a beer from the Trail Magic. came down. So I asked him how many people showed up for the Trail Magic, and he said he rolled up right when they were like packing up, and he was with a group of like 8 to 10 people. Because of the heat, they had all like siested at the cold spring, that spring I showed you, like with the trail. So probably 8 people unfortunately missed that awesome Trail Magic because they were just beating the heat at the spring in the shade, where he had like pushed on and just got there when they were like getting ready to leave for the day. So lucky for him, but you just never know, right? You never would expect to have Trail Magic where they were. So, but I imagine the people at Cold Springs are going to be very sad. Anyway, we got about 3.3 miles to the road. I've got a 3/4 full Smart Water bottle of Gatorade that I'll be enjoying on the way, and we'll see if we can get into town before the bus. Wish me luck. So there must be an easement here for the PCT, but I can see the highway now, way down there. Maybe you can see it. I've got a bit of a crossing here at Soldier Creek and Meadow. It might be a little deep, so electronics are going to go in the brain of the backpack, just in case. All right, we're in Chester. The timing worked out perfectly. Trail Angel picked me up when I texted her, and we got a couple other people in the town as well. So we're at the laundromat, and we're going to take care of that. All right, so the laundromat is out of all supplies like detergent. Luckily, this gas station across the street had a little thing of Gain with odor defense. I've got some cold drinks and some snacks, and we'll hopefully get this laundry taken care of. All right, we just started up the laundry. It'll be about a half hour. Yeah, so we'll hang out outside. There it goes. Get clean. And maybe we'll go to the brewery after this while we wait for check-in. All right, it's about 1 o'clock. We just put our washed clothes in the dryer. Just had a sweet old lady come by in her motorized wheelchair. Spoke for a while. Real friendly person. She's a sweet lady, but she had she makes these handmade like quilted hearts that she will gladly give you to hang on the trees on the trail or give to other people. So I had to kindly tell her that I'm not one to leave stuff in the wilderness, but it's very sweet, and I'd rather actually give it to someone who's actually gonna use it as opposed to take it and then, you know, throw it away. So she was very nice. Seems like this is a pretty friendly town overall. I just double checked. Man, I got so much dirt. You know what it is? When I put the sunscreen on my nose, my hands are usually pretty dirty. So I think what's happening is I'm putting on the sunscreen, but I'm also putting on dirt. That's why my nose is constantly dirty. Ugh, I don't think there's any getting around that. At least I'm not going to get skin cancer, hopefully. So yeah, anyway, I double checked. It looks like the box, my resupply boxes I got shipped here, we sent care of the Best Western I'm staying at. It looks like someone from Best Western picked them up, so that's one less trip I have to make. So I got to go to the grocery store, and depending on when this laundry's done, if I don't get a text saying I can get an early check-in, I might just walk over to the brewery and have a quick beer. Why not? I also got to look at the next town for resupply. Initially, I was going to have it shipped to Castella, but I think Mount Shasta is just like north of there, where a lot of people go. So I'm going to try and figure that out in the next 20 minutes while my laundry is getting dry. All right, it's about an hour before check-in. Let's see if we maybe can get lucky and get in our room. All right. We are in Chester. Everything is walkable. It is still hot. I'm told the heat wave will break in a few days, and everyone is saying it usually isn't this hot. So there's that. There should be a sporting goods type store coming up. We're hoping I can get another canister of fuel, and then we'll go to the holiday market, which is probably more pricey but best selection grocery store in town. Sadly, no Chipotle or Domino's doesn't deliver this far, but that's fine. We'll figure things out. I'm sure the grocery store has a lot of good stuff. My room has both a fridge and a microwave, and the fridge looks like it could actually maybe keep a pint of Ben & Jerry's cold for a few hours. So also going to take a look at that. That's it for now. We'll check in a bit. It's still hot out here. So drive-through, the trail angel who gave me and a couple other thru-hikers our ride, she mentioned this Rusty Chandelier has like a full ice cream thing. Maybe we'll check this out real quick before we go to the Sports Nut. Something I don't think I've ever done, but I remember doing it a lot with my Uncle Tommy when we go out and pick up food. Grab a beer while we wait for it. This one's for you, Tommy. All right, we've got lots of food. I still kind of have a hankering for pizza. So if I want it tomorrow, I'm gonna have to walk to the pizza factory chain. It's not the best, but it's pizza and I need some. So I'm probably gonna do that. It's funny, the town has a Subway sign. I was thinking about getting Subway, but it's closed. It didn't make it, so bummer for that. All right, it's 4:30. We're done with all of our errands for today. Exciting, it's almost shower time. The only thing I'm striking out on is powdered electrolytes. So I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. I'm gonna have a few tailwinds coming from Sarah. I have a few extras. I would like a lot more. I might jump on Amazon and see if I can get something 2-day delivered to the hotel. We'll see. All right, doing a real quick recap for today, and we'll pick it up again tomorrow. Did about 14 miles. We hit the halfway point. I just wanna relax, eat. I've got salad. I've got Chinese food. So yeah, we'll see you in the morning. Time to relax.